Welcome to L2 Lightning, a new mini-series in which I'm going to look at weapons, equipment and tactics for the Lightning tank. I'm going to start with the Skyguard and gradually work my way through all of the weapons, upgrades and equipment available to the Lightning at a rate of most likely one per episode. The Skyguard is the most damaging vehicle-mounted anti-air turret in Planetside 2, featuring a high rate of fire compared to other flak weapons and a large magazine for sustained fire. It's designed as a support weapon, so if you lone wolf it, chances are you'll end up with a few air deterrence ribbons, but precious few kills and assists. But you can still make a difference. Even if you don't get any kills or assists, you can still make life difficult for aircraft. Not only does it deal damage, but flak also causes noise, screen shake, and it obscures the pilot's view with damage indicators and explosions, in addition to reducing the frame rate. In short, it's distracting. The Skyguard recoils up and to the right, so you'll need to compensate for that, and it has a significant cone of fire or spread, as indicated by the herd reticule. Flak rounds don't require a direct hit, as they'll detonate by proximity and deal splash damage. In addition, the Skyguard can deal steady damage against all ground vehicles. It's not a lot, but it's enough that they can't ignore it, and it's often worth trying. It's also worth using against infantry and maxes at close range.
Enemy gunship in the area.
Having some cover to guard your rear and sides from ground vehicle attacks is a good idea. It doesn't have to be where you fire from, just close enough that you can duck into it when needed. High ground is great if you can get it, as it gives you a very large field of fire, and many pilots will fly low to avoid flak, not expecting to be fired on from a hilltop. Being in a position to fire at aircraft as they line up for an attack or escape after strafing can be extremely effective, resulting in plenty of assists and kills. Most pilots will turn and burn to try and evade flak. If you can be in a position where they're flying directly towards or away from you, they're in trouble. The position I'm using here is a great example. Finally, no position is perfect. Pilots hate Skyguards, and if you're in the same place for long, then they will either learn to avoid you, or they'll come and hunt you. Libs in particular love going for the tank buster kill, so keep your ears open for the Liberator engine noise. If you shoot an aircraft down at short range and get the kill message for the aircraft but not the pilot, that means he bailed out and he will come and try to see for you. If it was really close, he might even be above you on drifter jets. Extra style points for flacking light assaults out of the sky, just make sure you're not underneath them. This position lasted a good 25 minutes and finally ended when Peter 2 returned with a Vanguard. The best way to clear the skies is with aircraft, so helping out friendly pilots is very important. I generally do this ad hoc, but working together with squad pilots can be very effective, as Gorn will now demonstrate. You should also assist friendly ground units by firing on any aircraft that are firing on them or lining up for an attack run. Not only does this stop them from taking out your allies, but they're at the most vulnerable while focusing on lining up their weapons. You should also watch out for libs and gals hovering above bases. Last but not least, go for kills. If you have an opportunity to pop an ESF or finish off a Liberator, doing that is very often the most useful thing that you can do at that moment. This isn't an ordered list, the most important thing is to just judge the situation. Also, spot everything, it helps. Razor chassis allows you to reposition quickly with its 85 kph top speed and strong acceleration. It helps climb hills, and it can be used to chase down some targets in certain rare situations. However, it has awful turning speed, braking power, and reverse speed, which leaves you at a disadvantage when you're taking fire. Rival Combat Chassis improves turning speed, reverse speed, and braking power. This is great for defending by nipping in and out of cover or making tight turns in difficult terrain, or simply making yourself a harder target by changing speed more rapidly. If you're not sure which one to take, then take Rival. I don't generally take top armour, as the pilots you really need to worry about will go for rear hits, and the definition of rear hit is surprisingly generous. Auto repair is a good option if you want to stay really mobile and not have to stop to repair, but it isn't the one-size-fits-all powerhouse that it once was. I found side armour useful when harassers were still really popular, so it's worth considering if you think that there are going to be enemy vehicles skirmishing around. Front armour could conceivably be useful to absorb fire from ground vehicles while you chip away at them, but I haven't personally tried it, as that's not really the focus of the Skyguard. My personal choice is proximity radar. Many pilots like to fly as light assaults so that they can bail out when they're in trouble. Light assaults carry C4. And of course, pilots don't like Skyguards, so you can see where this line of reasoning is going. It's not just bail assaults that you need to worry about though. When you're using the Skyguard, you're mostly looking up, which leaves you vulnerable to anyone with C4 or a rocket launcher. With radar at maximum rank, you can see these threats coming from 50 meters away. All you have to do is get used to checking the minimap every few seconds, which is something you should be doing anyway. As a rule of thumb, to get into the habit, check it when you reload. As for the utility slot, go with fire suppression. It's hard to beat an on-demand heal, especially if you use it to take the vehicle out of a burning state. While the vehicle's on fire, not only is the health ticking down, it's in a disabled state as well, which means it moves more slowly. You can also use fire suppression just as a sort of poor man's auto repair. Lock-ons can be countered simply by taking cover, or facing the front armour towards it and laughing at the damage. IR smoke's secondary function, the actual smoke, is useless against thermal optics, which the majority of pilots will be using, and even most tank drivers. When it comes to implants, I typically use enhanced targeting to help identify low health targets, or marker if I'm having one of those days where I just keep forgetting to hit Q. I'd recommend getting optics first. The Skyguard can get up to 3 times zoom, which is helpful for seeing where the shots are going, and doubles as a sort of poor man's telescope if you just want to get a closer look at things. Night vision, not thermal optics, can actually be useful for the Skyguard. All it really does is highlight anything within 1,000 meters green. The closer it is, the brighter it is. This is useless for ground targets because everything's just green, but since the sky is always dark with night vision, it highlights aircraft in green quite nicely out to a range of 1,000 meters. However, it's worth noting that you can't see where your shots are going when you have the night vision turned on. For this reason, I generally just turn it on, spot, then turn it off to fire. The next thing to get is extra ammo, because the Skyguard gets through it quite quickly. I'd recommend getting it up to the 7th rank out of a possible 10. 1900 certs for the last 3 ranks is a little bit steep, but you can never really have too much ammo, so they wouldn't be wasted. Finally, it is worth getting rank 4 out of a possible 5 reload speed. Shaving a quarter of a second off a 3-second reload time may not sound like very much, but you will notice the difference. What it really does is it reduces your downtime, and that means you're less likely to be caught reloading at a crucial moment. That about wraps the video up. If I missed anything, or if you think I just got something completely wrong, let me know in the comments section. I took way too much footage for this, so I'll leave it playing until it's over. Enjoy.
Welcome to my state-of-the-art sonic laboratory. I love synthesizers. That's right. You've caught me listening to some low-frequency waveforms. Waveforms. Welcome to my state-of-the-art sonic laboratory. I love synthesizers. Waveforms. That's right.
No. That's low. This was the Skyguard.
I love synthesizers.